when your offense is in rhythm like that early, is that the quarterback? Is that the receivers? Is that everyone being on the same page? What causes that?
It's a combination of everything. Our offensive line communicating, giving them time. Our receivers running the proper routes, running the right combinations. One guy runs the wrong route, the whole thing is messed up. Today the kids ran crisp routes, they ran the right routes. Shea started off with some short completions to get his rhythm. Then we started spreading it from there. We didn't punt the first half, which makes me very happy that our offense is clicking right off the bat. In the preseason, that was our concern. Took us a little while to get really going offensively. Today, we were ready right off the bat.
Surprised by how well you play on defense? I mean, maybe surprised isn't the right word, but you were really, everybody's coming into the season talking about your offense, and the defense, puts up a shutout, right, and didn't give up much in the way of yards. It kind of proves it's a complete team a little bit.
Well, the big thing, our concern on defense was our linebackers. We lost our whole linebacking core from last year. We get some young kids in that position now. Sam Merrill, being the senior, the undersized linebacker, is the brains of the defense. He knows what's going on. Jimmy Festa, Kyle Marin, those guys are sophomores, are still getting their feet wet, and Sam's doing a great job of mentoring them, making sure they're in the right places. Our defensive line did a great job of lining up properly today. When we called certain blitzes, they were shooting the right gaps and leaving those gaps open for our linebackers to get through. And when we got through, we secured tackles. We weren't missing. The big worry for us was our defensive line of linebackers getting across the line of scrimmage and getting too deep and creating lanes without being blocked. That was one of the things we were doing early. We corrected it nicely, midway through the first quarter, and we started seeing better results. The cutback lanes weren't there that were there when they had those big runs, and we were able to fill all the gaps and make them try to bounce. And when they bounce, we have guys like Alex Silva and Donnie Kavanaugh, two of our better tacklers on the outside, to clean up the mess, with guys like Eli Batista, who's a great open field tackler, Alan Polino, Vinny O'Hara. Our outside guys did a nice job of cleaning up the mess when it did bounce.
Down on this side, you see Matt Mastrocola come up with a safety right in front of his big brother. I mean, how cool is that?
Very emotional day. I mean, not a kid in here on our team ever suspected we'd have Mikey here. We had his jersey, we were ready to bring it out. And, when I told them that he was going to be here today, you could just see the entire team light up. And I think that was a huge inspiration for us playing well so early, was knowing that Mike's here, Mike's watching. And we don't want to let him down. We want to keep him in the highest spirits we can. And we knew one of his goals from the very beginning, when this all started 5.5 weeks ago, his goal was to get on the field for a game. And I think in his mind that was Thanksgiving. So to get out here in game one is just a blessing from God and all the prayers that this community has put out for that boy. And I think he had a great time.
Absolutely. So you guys have been 1-0 a couple times. 2-0's been a little bit more elusive. How do you keep it going and get that this time?
This is a big stretch. Here's where we run into our problems. Weeks 2, 3, and 4, and we play good teams. We got Classical next week, all road games at Classical, at Beverly, at Marblehead. These are the grind weeks where we tend to maybe take a step backwards, or at least a step sideways. We need to take steps forward. And we'll watch this film, and the things we didn't do well we'll correct, and try to figure out what Classical is going to do to stop the success that we had in this game.
I meant to ask you too, is you got such a big roster now, 70, 80 odd kids. This is what, year 4 or 5 of the spread. I mean, is that connected in some way? Maybe when you have this exciting offense and different positions for kids that might not play football, do you feel like that's maybe not a coincidence that your roster's growing? You have more kids in your program now that you're doing this stuff.
Well, a huge shout out goes to our youth program. The youth football, my son plays in it. They make it exciting. They involve all the kids. The kids have fun. So when they come to Peabody High, they want to play freshman football. They want to be a part of Peabody football. And I give Billy Woods and the guys that coach down there and volunteer at the time, from 1st grade to 8th grade, these kids are coming through their system, not as Raiders as they were when I first started, but as Tanners. And I think that pride with the Longhorn on their chest and the Peabody across their chest is starting to mean something maybe a little bit more like it did when I was a kid. And now I think these numbers are a reflection of that. I think the more exciting offense that we have, that we play, might have something to do with it. hopefully, you know,
Even just the body types. Like, you don't have to be a stocky 100, and you know, you can be a skinny guy, a track guy, and you can play slot receiver. You know, it's like kind of welcoming to
there's
kids
more
like that.
positions for those smaller kids to have a chance to get on the field.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned during the game to me, where are you getting all these outside linebackers? Those are all DBs.
Yep.
You know, before, but with this defense that we're running, having the 2 extra outside backers instead of those defensive backs is allowing us to use more hybrid kids, you know, in and out.
Pays off, yeah.